I would like to inform everyone that I made this shirt by myself. Hold up. You see it? Yeah, baby. All right, anyways, let's get down to business. Hello, everyone. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, night, wherever you're at. Today's video, let me adjust the mic, okay? Today's video, we are gonna be doing a little bit of a deep dive on an MLM company. You guys love when I do deep dives. I wouldn't say I'm the only source that can give you information about an MLM or any MLM for that matter, but I would like to be one that gives you a different perspective. So if you guys are new here or, whatever the case may be, my name is Isabellamichellelanter. I cover a lot of problematic content creators and mainly scams. I do highlight frequently multi-level marketing companies. And what I specifically like to highlight and show is a lot of behind the scenes facts, information, details, and so much more that a lot of promoters simply will not, either maybe because they don't know any better or just because they don't want to, show you. So there's a lot of details I want to talk about, and we're going to be going over the company Nu Skin. So Nu Skin is a multi-level marketing company that has been around for a good long time that is still ongoing and present to this day. A lot of people hear about them and people still join them. So with that, I'm going to be diving into the entire company. How we're going to follow this is I'll have timestamps in the description below. You can check it all out. So that way, if there's a spot you want to check out or you need to refer back to, you can do that. But we're going to go through the products, how to get started, how much money you're going to have to invest, how much you can expect to make, the income disclosure statement, compensation plan, any other legal issues within the company, and so much more. So that way, at the end of the day, if you are interested in joining the company, at least you can hear the full details and information about it. And in my opinion, hopefully stay away from it because there's a lot of problems with this one. So before we hop into today's video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell button down below. My vlog channel, podcast, and merch are in the description below. And now let's get into it. But before we hop into the rest of the information, let's talk about today's sponsor. So anyone can literally look up anything they want about you on the internet. I should know. I'm someone that does research on other people for a living, and other people have looked into me as well. But that can include things like your full legal name, personal email, your home address even, and so much more. And that's a lot of information that's really vulnerable. So this information is accessible because data brokers will sell your information to many people across the internet, like telemarketers, robocallers, and so much more, and anyone can have access to all of your information. And that's why I'm excited to talk to you about today's sponsor, Aura. So Aura will identify data brokers that are exposing your information and automatically submit opt-out requests on your behalf. Aura also monitors your emails and passwords to see if they were involved in a data breach and exposed on the dark web, and gives you recommendations on what to do and how to handle it. So with using Aura, I actually was able to find some information was leaked on me personally, personal ways to aka find where I live. Now I was able to get rid of that and have them opt out for me thanks to Aura, but still I didn't even realize that was out there to begin with on me. So Aura's app features a VPN, password manager, and real-time credit and identity theft monitoring, internet parental controls, and protects your identity from malware. Aura has almost every internet safety tool all on one platform. So let Aura do the hard work by protecting you and your private information. So go down to the link in the description below. That's aura.com/lanter, or use the QR code on the screen to go and start your 2-week free trial today. Thank you so much again to Aura for sponsoring today's video, and now let's get into it. So Nu Skin, one that many people have seen before, is a mainly, again, as kind of the brand name says, a big skincare based company. So Nu Skin was actually founded by entrepreneurs that were named Blake, Steve, Sandy, and Nedra, that decided to develop a company that had skincare. They wanted to focus on having a more of a leading company that would allow to have ingredients and products that were just better for you and your body, which from the surface, that sounds good, right? A lot of companies are really pushing that type of perspective right now, which I mean, I get it. Many people are looking for that. However, with that though, it grew, it progressed, and became a multi-level marketing company. This quote coming from an article states that by 1989, the firm was experiencing massive growth. It opened its first operations in Asia 2 years later. In 1996 though, the firm released its initial public offering and became a publicly traded organization. That same year, it acquired the dietary supplement company Pharmanex and began offering products under the Nu Skin and Pharmanex brand names. The company's biggest seller became Life Pack, a dietary supplement which Nu Skin markets as being able to help the body achieve an ideal level of antioxidants, vitamins, and minerals. The product currently makes up 15% of the company's sales, allegedly. So far with all the press and information that I found, it looked really fascinating, right? And this is the company that would make sense for people to join when it comes to multi-level marketing. They have interesting products, they've been around for a long time, that probably could be really substantial substantial and sustainable, right? Well, that's not when we get into the real details about multi-level marketing companies. Now, this is the part where a lot of my regular viewers, you can skip through this because you've heard this many, many times, which the timestamp is, down below, so you can skip over to where we get to the goods. But I want to talk about why MLMs are a problem and why they are so dangerous. Now, for a lot of people who are new and don't know a lot about MLMs and want to know why do I hate MLMs so much, I'm going to be popping up a lot of information to kind of show you what the issue with multi-level marketing is. So MLMs, multi-level marketing companies, are things that honestly have become a major problem in our society today, but for a while it was not really talked about. And with that, multi-level marketing companies have had many studies and personal experiences that have been shared, and ultimately many issues when it comes to the FTC, the Federal Trade Commissions, that have allowed us to have a lot of data on these types of companies and the problems behind it. So according to the FTC, majority of participants that join MLMs make zero money, if anything, lose money, which is a huge red flag in itself. These companies are still around and enticing you with the idea of making money, getting a side hustle, having side income, yet most participants who join literally make nothing. In fact, Nu Skin was actually one of the companies that was studied specifically when it comes to this research, and things that they found were very problematic. Now, additionally, I would like to say and show this chart that a lot of people who join companies like this make far less than people who would, let's say, go gambling or start an actual small business, or if anything, join a pyramid scheme that has zero products, like an actual, literally no product-based pyramid scheme, which is insane to say the least. So if MLMs are taking people financially far more than even a no product-based pyramid scheme would, then that is a huge red flag in itself. So with this data in mind, I know not many people will show that or share that, and that is exactly why I'm talking about it today. Additionally, though, I want to talk about some quick myths about the pyramid scheme concept and multi-level marketing. So what we usually hear when it comes to the discussion of MLMs is, well, we can't be a pyramid scheme, right? That's what I hear a lot of promoters say, is they discuss how there's no way that their company could be a pyramid scheme because, well, they have products and pyramid schemes are illegal. And 100% pyramid schemes are illegal. However, as we know, there's many things that have loopholes and ways of getting through and happening. And there are ways of MLMs literally being pyramid schemes. Now, when it comes to the MLMs, though, MLMs can absolutely become pyramid schemes. That's when, though, majority of the money and income, and especially income of the leaders, CEO, you name it, is being made strictly because a person is being recruited into the system and not actual retail sales, then that was what we would be able to show is a pyramid scheme, which is a big problem. And then additionally, to go on and say, the FTC has many, many different statements across their website that clearly states how when you're considering to join an MLM, you need to expect that you're probably not going to make anything. And that should tell you enough about the industry itself. However, with that though, we're going to talk about Nu Skin specifically though, the problems with it, and so much more. And with that, let's get into talking about the products. So I like talking about the products when it comes to any MLM because I like to see how marketable they are, right? And I like to look at it from my own perspective. Now, my perspective when it comes to these products are not end all be all, but as someone who frequents social media for a living and sees a lot of things, I like to kind of look and see if they're really easy to duplicate or replicate. And what I mean by that is if, let's say, oh, this is my body lotion I use all the time. Let's say if there's a brand that has a $50 body lotion that's exactly like this, but I could get this one, which is $8. Same ingredients. You see what I'm saying? There's many dupes and things on the internet, and I wanted to see if at least the products were worth our time or if they're really not even good to join the company when it comes to selling them, because there's many other products out there that are far cheaper and far better, which at the end of the day, if products are really overpriced and they're not really that unique, that actually can hurt people and, in my opinion, help them potentially lose more money if they're joining the company because they're trying to sell a product that really isn't that sellable to begin with. So they have a wide range of products, so beauty devices, skin and beauty, nutrition, and so much more. So they have the Pharmanex, which is a big deal for them. There's so much that they have on here, which I'm quite surprised by. For example, this is one that it's called Age Lock, and it's called Meta 6-Pack. It's around $600, and it is here to help with a daily dose of unrivaled scientific support. It's backed by 7 years of groundbreaking exclusive to Nu Skin research, and apparently it gives the illusion that it's almost like a really good old multivitamin at the end of the day. And they do have other products. So for example, they are really involved when it comes to skin and beauty. We go and scroll over here, we see tons of skincare products and everything, which honestly, from what I'm seeing, some of the pricing is not horrible. Do I personally think it needs to be that expensive? No. Many MLMs that have pretty expensive products because they're more expensive due to, in my opinion, that they need to compensate people who do sell the product and make commission. So let's say the commission is 25%, it's going to make it a little bit easier for the owner of the company to make big bucks off of a product that's $50 and overcharge, and they make $25 off of it, or better yet, maybe $30, when the person that sold it probably hardly makes anything. You know what I mean? Would like to acknowledge that some of them can be really, really good for you. And if they do actually have really good good products that are backed by actual legit science, then I'm not going to hate on that in any capacity. But what I will say is when it comes to, from what I've seen with lots of MLM products, is a lot of them are very generic and basic. Again, the other products that are being claimed to have a lot of science backing and it's a big price for them, that's fine. But when we're looking at things like a face spa and a cleanser and serums, those are things that you can really get anywhere else. And frankly, a lot of the products that are out there, you can get a bunch of really good replicas for. I'm here to tell you that, well, yes, this might be an interesting product to purchase, or they may have good products. I think you can find better. And in my opinion, in today's society now, especially, I think a lot of people are trying to find, if they're going to invest good money in something, it needs to be really providing a great benefit to them, actually be doing a really good job for them. Like for example, it would take a long time for me to pull my personal data off the internet. And that's why I like Aura. But when it comes to maybe a good skincare product, for example, I don't need to drop crazy amounts of money on that, right? I can get an affordable one and it still works just the same. If you're going to join this company, I don't think it's going to be a good idea when it comes to strictly selling the products, right? Because if you're just strictly selling the products, it doesn't look like something that people would jump to purchase very easily and quickly, which is kind of what you would need, if anything. Now that we talked about the products and the marketing capacity and my personal beliefs on that, let's go on to getting started with Nu Skin. So with getting started, I actually had a friend of mine who showed me their back office and everything, which was so helpful. Thank you so much to you. I appreciate you. So what I could see is you didn't right now have to join and spend money to get started with the company. So it doesn't look like there's a starter pack requirement. So for example, with many MLMs, they when you get started, you have to drop maybe $200 to $400 to $600 on products and everything, which is crazy expensive. And so right now it shows that there's no requirements so far, which I don't even think that's bad. I think that's better than what a lot of MLMs offer. However, the point that I would like to make is if you're going to talk about a product or talk about the business or claim to be a business owner of the company, you should have products of theirs, right? So from the get-go, you are essentially going to have to buy products. Now, no, they're not requiring you to get started, but by getting started and talking about a product and you don't even have personal experiences on, that doesn't make any sense. And if anything, it has been pushed to us for a long time that, oh, well, I have this personal experience with this product and oh, I have this personal experience with the business. So it only makes logical sense for you to purchase products. And since a lot of their products really can range when it comes to pricing and everything, you could start off with maybe a $30 purchase or $40 purchase, okay? Which is honestly not horrible pricing. Now, I kind of did a little digging and I couldn't find any specific monthly cost. That could be an actual thing, since that's kind of all we're looking at is maybe $30 to $40 to start off. Let's look at the income disclosure statement. Income disclosure statement is pretty much their statement to show, hey, this is how much money that people in our company are making, and this is how much that people are making per rank, and how many people are making this amount. You know what I mean? It gives you an idea of what to expect and what most people are getting when they're part of Nu Skin. So this is the 2021 brand affiliate sales compensation plan. So it says that there are two fundamental ways in which a brand affiliate can earn compensation: through retail markups on resales of products purchased at wholesale prices, through sales compensation, which is sometimes called bonuses for product sales and the sales by brand affiliates and others on their team. So it says in 2021, the company paid approximately $206.7 million essentially in sales compensation to brand affiliates in the United States alone. So now it says the following table shows the average sales compensation paid in 2021 at various levels in the company. So the average sales compensation paid to a U.S. active brand affiliate each month was $206.98, which honestly does not sound horrible. In 2021, the average monthly sales compensation paid to brand affiliates who earned sales compensation payment was $947.61. So real quickly, I would like to acknowledge, and this is something I love to discuss, how a lot of income disclosure statements show an average number. And in my opinion, that's very misleading. Now, why I think that's misleading is, for example, if there are maybe 100 people who make $10, right? Every single month they make $10, but then that one person, the 101st, you get what I mean? The 101 number promoter makes like $100,000 a month or even $50,000 a month. If we do the average between all those numbers, the average is going to be ridiculously high. Even though most promoters are only making $10 a month, the average is high. Whereas, for example, if we do the median, we can go and actually see, oh, most people are maybe making $10 a month. Okay, so that's not as high. So what I'm getting at is from my opinion, somebody in a higher ranks is probably making a ton of money, meaning the average active brand affiliate each month for the 947 is probably high. So now here are the charts. So let's look at the brand affiliate. It's a non-brand representative. Monthly average sales compensation before expenses was $37 a month, which is, wow, that's Average percentage of active brand affiliates was 12.72%. And then average percent of brand representatives and above, not available. Qualifying brand representative, $114 average a month. Average percent of active brand affiliates was 1.74%. And then average percent of brand representatives and above, not available. Now we go to brand representative, $635 a month on average. It says, again, active percentage of active brand affiliates was 4.13%, and then active percentage of brand representatives and above, 56.1. So going up even all the way to gold, the average is 1,227. Now, I like to put this into perspective because a lot of people who are maybe a part of this company have been in other MLMs, if anything, can relate to this. A lot of people who are in the multi-level marketing industry, they put in a lot of effort and hardly get any return. And what I would like to highlight is many people really bust their ass when it comes to these companies. They really do. There's so much effort. There's Zoom meetings. There's personal messaging, there's a lot of time consuming, like scamminess essentially that's going on, and not including expenses as well, not including paying taxes, and working that many hours for hardly anything does not sound worth it in my opinion. And what I would like to say is you can put in a wonderful amount of time if you would like to on other opportunities and other things out there that would actually give you some compensation. And what's really sad to me is you have a better opportunity at literally getting a second, like getting another job at this point and putting in specific amounts of hours or part-time hours, if anything, and getting promised compensation. Whereas with this, there's really not much that you can do about it, which is really upsetting. And even in their own income disclosure statement, they talk about how expenses can, include and may not include travel, office supplies, licensing fees, insurance premiums, and legal or accounting fees. There could be a lot of expenses that rack up with this, rightfully so. If you're trying to run this properly, if you're trying to buy additional products, if maybe you are trying to do and purchase other things that can help you out with this, that can add up a lot. So this, in my opinion, from the FTC's information, data on MLMs to the Nu Skin's own data, this doesn't look good. But now, since we talked about the income disclosure statement, let's look at how people make the money though, because that's what I want to know is how does Nu Skin actually show that you can make money? We're going to go over the compensation plan now. This was harder to find. I actually had this sent to me by someone from their own back office, but we are going to go into the compensation plan and what to expect. So it says enroll as a Nu Skin distributor and begin marketing Nu Skin's extraordinary products. And you can build your personal consumer base to earn retail profits and sales bonuses. So you can earn up to 25% or more in retail profits on products you sell to consumers. And then you can earn a 5% bonus on the purchases of your personally enrolled consumers and distributors. So step 2 is teach other people. It says teach others to begin engaging and enrolling new consumers. As your consumer base and sales network grows, you can begin qualifications to become a sales network executive to increase your earning potential. So you have to meet all active requirements to get paid bonuses, and there are no personal purchases required in order to, hit these. So now with the compensation plan, they're actually showing off active requirements. So it looks like in order to stay active in the company, they have requirements for you to hit in order to grow and stay active in the company so you can sell. They say that distributors and qualifying executive distributors, 200 L1 volume and 5 customer sales per month. Executive distributors, they need to have 2,000 group sales volume and 5 customer sales per month. So that is how much that you have to be pulling essentially every single month in order to stay active in the company, which, okay. Interesting. Now with Nu Skin, it does show that there's a lot of ways in order to earn income. And with that, it's honestly going to bounce back and forth between actually recruiting people and then having people that are just regular customers and consumers. So for example, if we actually look about becoming a sales network executive, you can have it to where it shows on this chart that you can have a customer and preferred customer and a few other preferred customers, but a lot of distributors that are a part of it connected. And they do talk about how you can have a decent amount of group volume in order to hit this along with your own personal sales. Now with this, I would like to say how at the end of the day, though, when that's a huge involvement and requirement to essentially grow within the company, I find that to be a red flag because I don't like how there's such a weight being held when it comes to needing people to join the company and the system for you to improve and grow on your own. And I think it's also really alarming to me how there's going to be specific requirements as you get higher up in the company in order to do more, hit new ranks, to have a downline. That just doesn't feel very good to me, in my opinion. And additionally, I think everyone should be able to grow through a company like this strictly with just sales and not having to recruit someone in the system. And with that, if I don't see anyone that's a top leader in the company that's strictly sales and has a massive downline, I would consider that a red flag, if anything. So with that, I don't really think the compensation plan is exciting to me. I also would like to vocalize how I think the compensation plan is quite confusing, which is not really good in my opinion, because that's not helpful for anyone who's joining the company to easily understand what's going on, which to me is a problem because if you're wanting people to join, you should want them to be aware and educated of what they're a part of and what they're promoting. promoting, you know what I mean? So if it's hard for people to understand now, then why would you expect someone to ask others to join a system that they don't even fully understand themselves? And of course, there's many other bonuses that you can get strictly because you apparently are growing throughout the ranks. And then also you can earn other things as well in the compensation plan. Like for example, a free trip, which, oh my goodness, can we talk about the free trips real quickly? One thing I would like to mention when they promote free trips is those aren't always technically free. So for example, when I'm looking into the information about the success trips that Nu Skin holds, they have it to where, again, these trips are taxable. So what really pisses me off with this is we have people that aren't really making a good amount of money when it comes to these companies. And a lot of people, even if they're going through the ranks, aren't always doing so well financially. But with that, let's say you qualify for a free trip. Anything that they spend on you, you get to pay on when it comes to taxes. So you have to pay for whatever tax is on that. So let's say 20% of the trip you have to pay for. That's just me like free balling it and guessing, okay? Let's say they drop like $2,000 on you and you have to spend 20% of that on taxes. Free trip my ass. You know what I mean? That's completely ridiculous. And then also some of the requirements to grow in these companies are just, oh my God, they're very, very high. I think it's really ridiculous. And in my opinion, at the end of the day, with all this marketing about ways to earn money and additional incentives like free trips, you are so much better off at actually going to a second job, if anything, and working like a part-time job and using it towards something else or earning or paying for that trip yourself instead of having to be surprised by tax season of, oh, I have to pay money down on these trips and I am in the negatives on my business as a whole. Now, a couple other things that I want to add before we start getting into the legal issues with the company is Nu Skin has a bit of an issue with their back office. So what I'm saying is Nu Skin has it to where they apparently show off that they have scripts for people. And what I hate is their encouragement of personally messaging people and cold messaging, mind you, which I think is a huge red flag. You see over here, these are examples of scripts that are found in this training area of Nu Skin where they are essentially showing you this is how you cold message people, which is a big red flag to me because if your company is that good, if what you have to offer is that great, you shouldn't be cold messaging people. You should be teaching people how to market off products properly. When you encourage people to cold message and send these random outreaches in order to get them interested, that's a problem. So if you think that this company is going to be different than the rest of them, you're more than likely thinking wrong because this is literally replicating what many companies I've seen. If they encourage cold messaging somewhere else, encouraging it here too. Now, last but not least, let's talk about lawsuits and legal issues when it comes to this company. Now, full disclosure, I would like to just get out of the way and make this really clear, okay? And I think this needs to be acknowledged more. There are companies that we use every single day that have lawsuits and have issues. I think the point is for them to address and fix it. Absolutely. However, do I think that people should be aware of them? Yes. For example, I am sure Walmart has probably had lawsuits, right? Is it okay? No, they need to handle that shit and fix it. Is there any ethical consumption when it comes to capitalism in general? No. However, I would like to talk about the lawsuits and the sources because, for example, there are certain lawsuits that may throw up a little bit harder red flags for some people depending on this. And when a company who is very interested in recruiting you into a system, that is a very interesting thing to look into if they're getting sued for that exactly. Right here, this is something that is fascinating. It says Nu Skin reaches $47 million agreement to settle pyramid scheme lawsuit. The lawsuit filed in January 2014 against Nu Skin and its senior executives alleged the company failed to disclose to investors that its Chinese subsidiary was violating multi-level marketing regulations. The settlement for $47 million is subject to court approval and is not expected to result in a net charge to Nu Skin's income statement because the company anticipates its insurers will cover the payment according to a February 6th regulatory filing. So under the settlement, the defendants have not admitted any wrongdoing and the parties have agreed to execute mutually agreeable releases. The regulatory filing note, federal judge Jill Parrish must grant final court approval to the settlement, which Nu Skin said to anticipate it will occur in mid-2006, which is fucking insane how that happened then because I was 6 years old during that time. The lawsuit was filed on January 21st in 2014 in Utah federal court against Nu Skin and its senior executives, and they alleged the company failed to disclose to investors that its Chinese subsidiary was violating multi-level marketing regulations and laws. This was the same month 2 Chinese government agencies revealed that they were investigating Nu Skin following a Chinese newspaper report that questioned the direct seller's business practices. In the wake of the developments, Nu Skin shares plummeted more than 44% in the 2 days of the trading, according to the complaint, which alleged violations of federal securities securities law and cited earlier statements by executives, including Nu Skin CEO Truman Hunt, touting the business in China. In March 2014, Provo, Utah-based Nu Skin revealed the Chinese government has fined its US $524,000 for selling products that were not registered for the direct selling channel. The company also said it was fined for making products claiming the lack adequate documentary support, and 6 employees were fined for unauthorized promotional activities. Pyramid scheme, girlfriend, and also the fact that not even just that, I would say the issues when it comes to the products and how they weren't approaching that right. I think it's not just the business structure as a whole. There's things involving the products, I think, which is really harmful to people who are selling the products, for example, because again, that already is putting people who are looking and seeing this lawsuit, for example, and then looking at the people who are promoting Nu Skin and be like, I don't want to purchase from you. What the hell? Which hurts people in Nu Skin more. This next one though, oh my goodness. It says Nu Skin Enterprises receives class action lawsuit. A law office recently filed a class action claim on behalf of shareholders of a skincare product company after law violation allegations surfaced. Ryan and Manskas filed the litigation in the U.S. District Court for the District of Utah against Nu Skin. This action affected all shareholders during the class period between July 10th, 2013 and January 14th, 2014. Shareholders alleged that Nu Skin Enterprises leaders made several statements that were either false or misleading related to its projected growth and practices at the time. They were mostly tied to its operations in China. So sales totals for the company in China may have been higher than what they actually were, while it also had 2 organizations in China begin an investigation revolving around the possibility that Nu Skin Enterprises operated as a pyramid scheme. So when these issues surfaced, the company's stocks dropped by 44%, approximately $80 per share on January 17th. And so any shareholder who had an interest in becoming lead plaintiff for the case needed to speak with the court by March 24th of 2014. And those who want to take up its position need to file the proper paperwork by the deadline. Then it says a second law firm released information related to its filing of a securities class action lawsuit against Nu Skin due to similar allegations of fabricated statements regarding business practices. Barak, Rodos, and Baxine note in the filed documents in the same court for the same class period, the company works in more than 50 markets throughout the world, and including its activity in China, earned approximately $2.1 billion in 2012 through its global operations. It is also possible to speak with this law firm in order to learn more about the situation. So what I get when it comes to these situations was there was apparently and allegedly some misleading when it comes to shareholders not being very transparent, and then also with them being investigated for being a pyramid scheme. That is a big yikes. Being fined, everything. Now, I know they settled. I know that doesn't always look good, and that doesn't also mean that you're guilty or not guilty, but either way, I personally don't think that's a very good thing. I think if you're getting investigated being a part of a pyramid scheme to begin with, or running a pyramid scheme, what the hell marinara colored red flags were you waving to make people think that you were running a pyramid scheme? You know what I mean? This entire company, I think, is not the best in my opinion. I think that they have been around, yes, but many things that are problematic in our world have been around for a long time. What I recommend and suggest is finding other ways of starting a small business, starting another side hustle, if anything, that is far better when it comes to money making and security than most of these companies, because there is no security when it comes to the money. There's no promise of income, and the projections, if anything, that we see through the data don't look really good at all. So that is my little discussion on this company. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Comment down below what you guys think. Do you guys think this is a safer company? Do you guys like the products? What are your personal experiences with Nu Skin? Because I would like to hear about them. And thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. And I will see my angels in the next video.